Hello everyone, my name is Richie and welcome back to another video. Today join me for a first look at the brand new 2019 timetable mod for Birmingham Cross City. Let's get into it. So yes, this is the new timetable mod from On Track Simulations for the Birmingham Cross City, and I'm quite excited to give this a go because it brings things like this, the West Midlands Railway Class 153s. Now these are quite interesting services because I remember these quite vividly when I lived in Worcester. You'd have many 170 coupled up to 153 sort of services like this, and these things are noisy when you travel on them, especially up the Licky Incline. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. So I'm going to jump into the main menu and show you what you get with a timetable, and then we're going to jump into this 153 and then drive it towards Bromsgrove. So yeah, without any further ado, let's jump into the main menu and then let's drive a 153. So here we are in the main menu, and this is the timetable for the Birmingham Cross City. So now we've got three separate timetables. Obviously we've got the mod one, and I must stress as well, this is a mod. It's free, but you can only play this if you're on PC. PlayStation and Xbox, you can't play this. And the reason being is because mods don't work on consoles. There's like certification issues and all sorts of technical reasons why you can't do it on a console. Trust me, as a PlayStation user primarily, I would love to have this timetable on there. But for the time being, it's on the PC and it's free, which is quite cool. So if we jump into this, the Winter 2019 timetable, you can see we've got all sorts of stuff. Now first off, what's quite interesting with this is that you've got plenty of 350 variants. So obviously these all come from the, I believe these come from the West Coast Main Line Birmingham to Crewe. As for some diesely things, we've got this, the 150, which is doing just one service between Aston and New Street. As for some other diesely things, we've got the 170-5 and -6 doing cross-country and West Midlands train services. And of course we've got the cross-country Voyager, which now actually lays into the route in the Class 170 timetable. So if you wanted to give this a go on console, you can drive a Voyager on Birmingham Cross City if you own the applicable DLC. So that's a cool little addition there. And of course you've got my beloved the Class 323, which does the bulk of the services. And of course you've got the star of the show for this timetable mod, the Class 153 in West Midlands Railway livery, which looks really, really cool and does around about 9 services. Now although 9 of these services are playable, I think some of the 170 services will have a 153 on the back, because obviously these would start at Birmingham or wherever, go down to the other side of the line, change ends and then go back. So some of the 170 services you should see these on, which is quite prototypical. So as you can see, you've got a couple of early morning services, you've got a couple of lunchtime services and then some evening services when, you know, they needed that extra carriage, and they were noisy, very noisy. And there you go, that's a little look at the timetable. So if you want to go and give this a go, I will leave a link in the description for you to go and check it out. So, with all that said and done, let's jump into a Class 153 and drive it southbound along the Birmingham Cross City. So here we go, I've jumped into 1V27 Birmingham New Street to Hereford. So let's get ourselves started and get ourselves set up, shall we? So, first things first, we need to put a key in down here. Awesome stuff. And then you put that into forwards, happy days. And then we unlock the doors. Easy stuff, and then you put the lights into day, just down there. Awesome. And here we go. This is the wonderful looking 153. Doesn't this look cool? So yeah, this is a really, really cool livery. Has it actually got a whole interior as well? It has, it's got a whole interior. That's cool. Yeah, that's really, really cool, the interior. So these were obviously very rickety. As you can see, they're coupled up to a 170 there, which looks very nice as well. You know, thinking about it now, I think one of the things that would have been cool with the 170 pack is maybe seeing an unbranded version of the London Midland 170 livery, because they're quite iconic as well. But yeah, you got the green of the London Midland livery, which is very, very cool to see. Obviously what's quite interesting is that they slapped a livery on the side of it, which is obviously quite prototypical, because there wasn't really much point in re-liverying the thing, because obviously they're out of service now. They don't actually run on the timetable. I think they were kept through COVID and then they got rid of them. So, you know, realistically there wasn't really much point in re-liverying the whole thing and spending the money on it when you're going to get rid of it. And then obviously COVID happened, so they just kept them on for a few more years. Anyway, let's get the doors locked and let's get ready to go, shall we? Right, the doors are slowly closing there. Happy days. Let's get going towards university. So let's release the brakes and let's get going, shall we? Should we do a couple of tones? I think we should. I think we should. Let's get going. Very, very nice. Obviously a slow crawl out of New Street here. There we go, diesely action, very nice diesely action. One little thing I want to look at here whilst we're here as well is the cool livery, which I believe this timetable actually brings, or you can get this from you can actually get this from Train Sim Community. The Virgin Pendolinos, which is very, very cool. Very cool to see those. I would love that as an official DLC, because these are a lot more iconic to me, and the other Virgin livery as well. They're much more iconic to me than the Avanti West Coast ones. And also you've got another 170 there as well. Right then, we can get up to 15 mile an hour. We're going a little bit too slowly out of New Street, but that's fine. It's a diesely thing. There's an electric thing coming in there. Obviously we've just we left a 170 that was neighbouring us. So I've got a Voyager over there. Oh, it's so cool seeing Voyagers on this route now. And here we go as we come into the tunnel. So we can get up to 20 mile an hour now. So these things weren't that quick, I can tell you that much. This is why I'm doing it this way and not the other way up the Licky incline. Got a Voyager there. Couple of tones for it as well. Oh, I love the Voyagers. Right then, this run is a relatively simple run, so we're straight into University and then we're down to Bromsgrove, straight down the Licky incline, which is prototypical. These would then obviously carry on towards Hereford via Worcester and whatever else. I would love to see Worcester, maybe even Worcester to Hereford as an actual section of line in a route. I really would. I think it'd be absolutely fantastic because you've got the likes of Malvern and whatever else. It'd be a really cool line. I'd love to see it. Anyway, full beans up to 40 mile an hour. Here we go, giving it some beans. We've hit 30 mile an hour as we approach in 5 ways. This is cool, very cool indeed. One thing I did notice was guard mode. Guard mode is playable on this, but if you're doing it in a 153 service, good luck trying to get between these two things here. It's going to be a fun experience. It's a bit like when I play SCR and I get stuck in a train and I can't get through. Anyway, as we fly on through 5 ways along the canal, give it a couple of tones. Lovely stuff. We're going a bit too quickly around here. This is so cool looking. This is absolutely fantastic. I really do like these timetable mods. You know, it's kind of similar to the timetable mod that we played around about a year ago, which brought the 170s to the route. That stuff is really cool because it gives you an idea of what you can add to a route like this. And obviously, you know, with this, you could bring in the 153s, which are a really nice addition. And I genuinely think there isn't really much else you could add to this route. The only sorts of things you could obviously add nowadays are the 730s, because, you know, they rule the line now, the Cross City, unfortunately. I miss my 323s, but, you know, as for a 2019 standpoint, I genuinely can't think of anything else to add to this route. So, you know, it's very cool that we've got pretty much all the stock to be able to fill up timetable mods and even, you know, official timetables like this. Anyway, we're on the approach into University, which I think is actually kind of a little bit unrealistic with the 153s, because like I said, I believe the 153s got taken out of service on the Cross City line around about 2021. I could be wrong, but obviously the University station wasn't built until around about 2023, maybe even 2024. I can't quite remember. A couple of years back. So I think realistically, if the 153s did come to University whilst it was in this state, it would have been for a very short period of time. So obviously, with it being 2019, you kind of just have to ignore the fact that University is how it is. But it'd be very cool if you could, if you know, for like a timetable mod or whatever, change a station to look like how it looked like in 2019. That would be really cool. Anyway, here's University, so let's get the doors unlocked, shall we? Do they all open, even on the 170s? Yeah, that's cool. I like how that's all linked up. I am actually quite impressed with how this is all linked up. I didn't think that these sorts of units would couple together in the game, but they do. Anyway, we can get going, so let's get the doors locked, and then it's full beans down to Bromsgrove in around about 10 to 11 miles. So, let's release the brakes, and let's do another little departure shot once more. All the beans, full beans, and a couple of tones as well, why not? Lovely stuff. Off it goes towards Bromsgrove. Very cool indeed. You'll have to let me know what you think of this livery. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Cool, off goes the 170 and the 153 over there. Lovely stuff. And it's the official 170s as well, which is quite cool. Obviously, previous timetable mods, we've seen the, I think it's the 5 circle 170 essentially reskinned. So this is the official 170s. And don't get me wrong as well, the 153s, I certainly wouldn't go wrong with an official version of that. Maybe like a 153 pack, because, I mean, isn't there like possibly ScotRail 153s as well? So, you know, a 153 pack with different liveries in, I think would be really cool. I think they could add to quite a few routes. Yeah, we're certainly flying now, straight through Selly Oak. Couple of tones, lovely stuff. Off we go, and then next up is Bourneville. I love this route so much, it's absolutely fantastic. Right then, let's get the beans off as we approach Bourneville. And again, this is very cool because it's a different view, and I always say this with new pieces of rolling stock. Obviously you've got the 323, which is kind of like that big window. The 170 is an interesting view. This is a completely different one as well, because I don't think we have anything sprinter wise that actually runs on the cross city like this. Not anymore anyway. Right then, we're flying through Bourneville here. We've got a 323 there as well. Lovely stuff. Bourneville's a really cool looking station. I think it's really well modelled. And then just like that, we need to get down to 45 mile an hour. So let's do that, shall we? Let's bring some gentle brakes in. The 153s are pretty decent at braking. They're very cool to drive on the Cardiff City network, which obviously that's what you need for this. I believe you need to have the Cardiff City network to own the 153, or to be able to drive it on this timetable mod. So you need to make sure to pay attention to what requirements you need. And happy days, just like that we're down to 45 and we're approaching onto the main stretch where we pretty much full beans it and hopefully overtake a couple of 323s. We may see a Voyager, we may see a cross country 170, who knows. Right, let's fly on over towards Kings Norton onto the abandoned platforms and let's watch it go past, shall we? Here it comes. Couple of tones, lovely stuff, off it goes. There goes the 153, awesome. And just like that we can get up to 75 mile an hour as we fly past the RHTT depot. What's the fastest speed on this thing? Is it 75? Yes it is. Okay, I was going to say this train would probably struggle getting to 75, but you know, hopefully it does it alright. We're at 56, so there's plenty of time for it to get up to speed. I mean, the Licky incline, it will certainly get to 75 down there, I can tell you that much. Yeah, this is a really, really cool service. We're up to 63 mile an hour as we're flying towards, I believe that's Northfield. I always get Northfield, Longbridge and Kings Norton mixed up. We have got a 323 on the left hand side though, so that's very cool. Yeah, let's give it some tones as we pass it and leave it in the dust. Haha, see you later 323. See you later, bye bye. So yeah, this is a really, really cool service. We have got a couple of passengers that have joined us at university and they're going towards Hereford as we've got another 323 going the other way. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to go to Hereford. To be honest, the best thing about Hereford is leaving. And here we are, we're certainly flying along now at 75 mile an hour. Lovely stuff. So we need to make sure to pay attention because we don't want to go that quick, do we? We don't want to be speeding in this thing because, I mean, if this goes too quick it'll just fall apart. Well hey, just like that as well, there's another 323. They were quite close together, weren't they? Really close together. Maybe that's possibly going to be going into the siding. I wonder, will it tell us on the map? What is that actually doing? This is going Longbridge to Longbridge Part 1. So I'm guessing that's going into the siding. That's cool actually. So that's something I wanted to see in the official timetable is Longbridge depot moves, not depot moves, siding moves. And just like that we've got a Voyager coming the other way as well. Look at that, lovely. I love seeing the Voyagers. Looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think the 323 Longbridge moves would have been really, really cool to see in the original timetable. I think they would have added a fair bit of playability, probably at least 10 to 20 services. So it's cool that you can do them in this timetable as well. Anyway, with all that excitement aside with the 323 and the Voyager going past, we are 5 miles away from Bromsgrove and we're very, very close to the Licky incline, which I think is around about 3.5 miles outside of Bromsgrove. So yeah, it's a decently lengthed hill. As we round the corner towards Barnt Green, have we got anything coming the other way? No, not quite. Not quite. I'm guessing because the Voyager's gone past, we probably won't see something so quickly on the fast lines. We might see a 323 though. And then obviously after Barnt Green, it's downhill. I tell you what, one last flyby opportunity, shall we? Let's go down here and do a little flyby. Right then. Off it goes. Off goes the 153. Awesome stuff. I did also see a 323 in this platform as well, doing a Redditch service. Where is it? It's somewhere around here. There it is. Lovely stuff. And here we are approaching the hill. I'm going to have a bit of gentle throttle on as we go around here because this will go very quick as soon as it hits the hill. It will go straight downhill. We have got some yellows as well, so we need to pay attention to what we're doing. There's probably something waiting in Bromsgrove station, so I wonder if we've got to wait. I mean, we have got 5 minutes to get to the station, and you know, 2.8 miles down the Licky incline takes a lot quicker than 5 minutes, so I'm guessing we may have to wait for something, which means brakes, question mark? Who knows? Right then, here we go, emerging onto the Licky incline. Look at this, you can just see how it just drops straight away. Let's take the beans off because we're just going to roll down the hill. I tell you what, let's get some more brakes in because I forgot this train can only do 75 mile an hour, so it's actually stuck at that, so we can't get to 80 mile an hour, we're not allowed to. But there is proof in the pudding that you can do it. We also need to think about slowing down because this is quite a fast approach into Bromsgrove, so slow right down. We're also clear into the station, which is quite cool. I was getting a bit panicky thinking we're going to have a red just before the station. Anyway, we're on the approach into Bromsgrove. I can see it just down there. So yeah, this is a really, really cool timetable mod. It's cool to run a service that I do have some familiarity with. And I'd love to see the 153 West Midland Railway livery as an official thing, but in the meantime we have this and I think it's quite cool. Of course I've got some experience of going on these sorts of trains, so it's very, very cool to see them, albeit in a timetable mod. But yeah, it's very cool and I would highly recommend that you go and give it a go because these timetable mods just always seem to get better, especially with new stock coming to the game. And obviously with this now we've got the Voyagers in, got the official 170s as well, so you know, this timetable mod brings a few new services in the 153 and whatever else, but a lot of it is core to the game, which is quite cool. Right then, let's get some brakes in here at Bromsgrove. Let's slow right down. This is coming in very hot indeed. So let's stop. Come on, all the brakes. Let's not spad. Oh, we're getting close. Come on, stop. Okay, that's fine. We did it. And there we go here at Bromsgrove, and I tell you what, I absolutely love that. What a fantastic service, and what a brilliant timetable mod. I genuinely feel like these timetable mods are getting better, and of course on-track simulation have done a couple of timetables now that are pretty decent. So like I say, if you want to go give this a go, feel free to go and download it. It's free and it's a lot of fun. Of course, to drive this, the 153, I do believe that you need to have things like the Cardiff City network. You also need to have other things. You need to have Birmingham Cross City for a start. I think you need to have like the Cross Country and West Midlands Railway 170 pack. There's a whole list of requirements really to kind of fulfill the whole experience. But to give a 153 specifically a go, I think you need Cardiff City network. So yeah, it's a very cool timetable mod, and you can do cool services like this. So now that we've arrived at Bromsgrove, I'm going to leave that video there. So thank you all for watching this video. I've been Richie, and I hopefully see you all next time. Bye bye.